Hello, everyone. This is the show, Making a Difference, and I'm your host, Jon Heymann. I'm thrilled today to have a great guest with me today. His name is Bryan Howard from the Mercury Performance Group, and he just put out a book called The Vanguard Edge. Let me read the subtitle because it's really good. 6-Step Method to Unparalleled Team Success. And as you well know, without a team, you're probably taking a walk all alone. So Bryan, great to have you with us today. Tell us a little bit about yourself and about Vanguard.
Sure. Thanks for having me today, Jon. I appreciate it. I run Mercury Performance Group, which is a workforce consultancy that does one thing: solves people problems. And the Vanguard Edge is one of the ways that we do that through team building. And so that's what this book is. We, as a consultancy, do much more than just team building, though. We also work on things that plague a lot of businesses, such as retention issues or performance issues, performance optimization. So we're really a full workforce suite. The only thing we don't do at Mercury Performance Group is recruiting and payroll. Everything else we take care of.
Do you promise your clients that if they take your consulting coaching experience that they're going to actually save money because they can attract staff members, they can retain them for longer and keep them satisfied?
There's two different plays actually when we do consulting services. The first one would be saving money, of course. And a lot of people would say, I save money, I was making a certain amount of profit, now I'm making more profit. But some of the things that we do are also cost avoidance. For example, we do a lot of HR compliance work with our clients, and HR compliance work is about not letting the bomb go off. So it's not really a cost savings at that point, it's a cost avoidance.
Yeah, it's sort of like risk assessment.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So in the area of leadership, do you work with the CEOs and the C-suite of the companies?
We typically start with the CEO and C-suite,
Okay.
and then the rest of our work usually trickles down into the organization depending on what it is. So when we do performance optimization work, we work directly with the teams, often line level managers and line level employees.
Okay. So it's about team performance, but it's also about the ability of the leader to manage that team. Am I correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Do you help leaders create the vision for their company,
We
or do
do.
they usually have it?
We do, actually. Chapter 2 in this book, The Vanguard Edge, is a chapter about mission. And this says a 6-step method, but what this really is 6 M's. The first M is all about mindset, and mindset is how people feel about their organization. And the second piece is mission. So we definitely teach people how to, 1, establish a mission if they don't already have one, and 2, to communicate that mission into the organization so everybody's rowing in the same direction.
Do you find, I have found in my work, do you find that sometimes their mission statements are way too long and nobody can memorize it and they can't communicate it? I'm not sure if that's been your experience.
It has been my experience, and I like to ask one very simple question, so does my team, is we walk around in a business when we first start and we say, what do you do? And we write down all the answers that we get, and then we take those answers back to leadership and say, despite what your mission is, these are the 47 things that your people think you do. And so nobody can give us one answer. And so this, the chapter 2 in this book is all about giving that one answer so that people know exactly what they're doing when they come to work every day. I always say that you have to have 3 things to have a good workforce, and the first 2 are alignment and engagement. Alignment's all about stating your mission and then saying, hey, let's all move in this direction. And then once you have that alignment, then you can work on engagement. And of course, the result of that is a high-performing team.
Yeah, high-performing team. I've seen that chart, performing, norming, storming, and then performing, and high-performing sort of on a 45-degree angle, tasks and relationships, things like that.
When you get it right.
Do you work on that?
Absolutely. Well, when you get it right, it's the hockey stick, right? So that's that type of growth. The 6 steps that we have in the book here, the first 5 of them are really talking about learning that you can grow as a person and as a company, and then moving into what is your mission, and then the next piece is what is your model. So how does the company operate? What does the hierarchy look like from top to bottom? How do people get their information? And and messaging is really important too. That's the next chapter in the book, which is all about how you communicate, not just to your employees in the company, but also to the outside world, to your stakeholders, vendors, community, people in the community, so they know who you are as well. And then the final piece, which I think is one of the most important, even though I saved part of the best for last, the fifth M is metrics. And metrics is all about accountability. Yeah. So one of the things that I've seen shift lately is during COVID, there was a lot of empathy, and nothing wrong with empathy. We need to be empathetic. We need to care about our employees' needs. But we also have to hold people accountable, and the only way to do that is have clear metrics so people know what good looks like. And that's what Chapter 5 is all about.
Very cool. Leaders need to be data-driven decision makers.
Sure. It's a good mix of the two, right? Yeah. Is an empathetic leader who also holds people to high standards.
Yeah, yeah. When you work with a company and you go into beginning, perhaps to end, how long is that period of time? Is it 3 months, 6 months, or does it vary?
It varies. It really depends on the company. We have companies where we'll do a project over a 30-day period of time, and we have other companies right now that we have are on 18-month engagements.
Oh, okay.
So some of them are quite long, and it depends on what we're working on. If we go into a company to install a Vanguard team, like described in here, then it depends on where we're starting.
Yeah.
So if we're starting from scratch, then it takes a little bit longer, obviously, to do it.
Where did you get the name Vanguard?
Vanguard is basically a warrior, a person who goes out and delivers a message, goes into the community and protects people. And so that's what we're doing, is building a team that has a very strong mission, a growth mindset, and is able to message that out to the communities and to their employees. So Vanguard is, you picture somebody with a soldier uniform on, guarding
and a
the
big spear
guarding
or something,
the company,
guarding the king. Yeah.
And that's basically what
kingdom.
this is. It's a very it's like a super team.
Yeah.
That you have. It's interesting, and I talk about it in the book, is Pixar was bought by Disney, and people talk about Pixar and their rise to prominence, and Disney basically bought Pixar with the intention of Pixar rubbing off on Disney, not the other way around.
Oh, really?
And the reason why they did that was a team called the Brain Trust, and that's actually their team title within Pixar. And so when they bought Pixar, they said, we're buying Pixar, but really what we're buying is the Brain Trust.
Yeah.
And the Brain Trust is a Vanguard team or a super team.
Well, that's fascinating. That is really fascinating. Well, Bryan, thank you very much for being with us today. I appreciate it a lot. One last question as we wrap up. What is a 30-second piece of advice you would give to a leader?
A leader. Listen. It's the easiest thing, really. Listen. And a lot of leaders spend time talking. Got to spend more time listening, because that's where the magic is.
Yeah, yeah. Very good. Can I just hold your book for a second, just put it up again? This is his book. It's a great one, The Vanguard Edge. You can see the connection at the bottom of the page, and I wanted to just thank Bryan Howard for being with us today. You all have a great day, and you can pick this up on our website. Thank you very much.